Hey everyone, welcome back to Craftoria. Obviously last episode we had that fail with the sword and I said I was going to make a mob farm, so I've done that. I started with the wither rose or whatever it is, and it turns out when you use the wither rose, it's cool, it spreads, but any light above a certain amount and it starts to burn. So what I ended up doing, I tried that. I found two wither roses in one of the, I don't know, all the way out here. There's a letting my map load. There was one of the when you do wither rose, it says about certain areas that it drops, and there was one of those places. It was a building. I forget which one it was. A monastery type thing. I think it was this one here, whatever this one is. Found two wither roses there. Put one in the ground. Spawns really well. Spawns nice and quick. Lots of mobs, but I couldn't turn it off. So I'd made this nice big room here, which is all within the area of that grinder there. It still picks up when a mob comes into the area at the back here because it's a fairly large area that it covers. But swapped it over to getting the cursed chicken feed. No, well this is let's see, GM chicken. Okay, so this one here, the GM chicken feed, the cursed one, which is easy enough to make, just some buckets of XP and a few bits and pieces. You feed this to a chicken, it gives you a rotten egg. This one here, and it says here, creates a 5x5 area of dreadful dirt. So underneath here is dreadful dirt. This one can be turned on and off using a light level. So if we pop back inside, and I wouldn't mind getting another, probably two, and just spreading the area out a bit more. But I can turn the lights off, and because it's a dark room, things will start to spawn. You can see there. We're getting it's a little bit of a different spawn. It's more what's in the area, but it does spawn quite well. Let me turn that back off for the moment. So on the bottom of the mob crusher here, obviously it picks up XP and puts it in the tank here. I've got a XP tap here for when I need it. And then I've got a pipe leading to a diamond barrel here. Now in this diamond barrel, I actually have an advanced void upgrade. And you can see over here all the things that I'm voiding because I was getting so much of these bits and pieces, and I may still void string and a few other items. But I was getting so many of them that it was just clogging the system up. And you can see how many scrolls I've got here. Not 100% sure what I can do with all these scrolls yet, but it is a decent little mob farm. Again, I do want to spread it out just a little bit more. But it is super cheap to get the chicken feed, as long as you've got the buckets of XP. I'd need to build my XP back up. But yeah, very, very easy way of doing it. And nice little thing for getting enchanted gear. So I've been taking the enchanted gear and running it through the system over here. Put your enchanted item in here. I've got the mercurial item extractor, and it will extract the books. So as soon as something is has the book extracted, the book actually will instantly go to the enchantment library. Just a little bit of a quicker way of getting things done. And then I'll take a lot of this stuff and just salvage it with the apotheosis salvaging table. Alright, so you can see this little guy here managed to get the Zycraft extractor working on the Certus Quartz side. So we've got quite a bit of Certus Quartz dust. This must be the flawless block. And the easiest way to get the flawless Certus Quartz block thing here is by using a cardboard box from Mekanism. So I made myself a cardboard box. It's probably in here. There it is, cardboard box. Recipe for the cardboard box is some sawdust, some slime balls, and a bit of plastic. Sawdust you get from a sawmill, sawing factory I've got here. And then you turn it into a cardboard box. Find one of the meteors that has the centerpiece for AE2. And you just need one that is a flawless one. It won't work on anything else. Underneath this block is a bucket of water. But other than that, it's working as it should. I'm getting plenty of Certus Quartz dust now, which will help me progress. And you can see some of the stuff I've built in between. So with the fail on the sword, obviously I do want to push towards getting the Modern Industrialization sword, the thing at the end, whatever it's called. Let me have a quick look here. Oop, not that one. It's up in all the quantum stuff up here. So I do want to get to that quantum sword. And obviously it requires all sorts of stuff, and it is endgame Modern Industrialization. One quick note aside, Manx decided he wanted to use the Pneumaticraft minigun, so I tasked him to do what he needed to do to get that charging. So it's a little bit janky, but it's working. And we've got ourselves a nice big pressure chamber and compressor, and that is just fed with the node here, just burning the sticks from our tree farm. So yeah, I won't do too much there. He's just been trying to follow the quest line himself. I've just been letting him go. Done Pneumaticraft a few times. But there are a few quests, obviously, that he's been ticking through. Go to Pneumaticraft. He's started doing some of these quests here. Yeah, so I'll claim them when I get a second, but let's just drop back to Modern Industrialization. So one of the things I'm aiming to get right now is the wire mill. So we need to get into powered items. I don't have packer and unpacker, or I haven't done any of the drill stuff yet. I'll look into some of this probably off camera. And brewery, alloy smelter might be smart to do, but I think we should be. Well, maybe I didn't. Okay, so there is no bronze alloy smelter, so we'll need to make that eventually. But we've got other ways of doing things. So we'll get to some of these other items up here. But the wire mill requires a few things. So wire mill requires all of the bronze items here. Now, what I started doing, and the reason for the cable running across the roof here, started trying to look into automating some of our modern industrialization machines here. And I have successfully put a pattern provider on with the bronze plate pattern. I moved the bending machine. That was originally sitting here. I've just swapped the mixer and the bending machine over. And what I want to do, I'll probably get rid of this stuff on top here. Maybe. I don't need to automate the macerator yet. But what I want to do is get at least these three guys up with pattern providers. So let's grab, I think I've got enough materials here to do a couple more. Table. My system's full, my inventory's full. Everything's a little bit chock-a-block at the moment. Just trying to make sure I can continue on. I did make another drive. It's already full. The quarries are kind of chock-a-block full. I've gotten through all my copper. Copper's now... I moved copper on the thing here. It's now down the bottom. So we are working through our ores, but we're just obviously just letting this run. Things are doing all right in terms of power. Let's get this guy to walk closer to the thing. See ya. What did you give me? Yeah, it's got some decent enchants on it. All right. Pop over here and sure you can go in there. That'll extract that. All right, so let's look at converting these guys to the flat version, and we're going to pop them on top of here. Yep. On the back of here, I have an item pipe. I did use the Modern Industrialization wrench, shift right click the back of the machine, which should give it that, a bit hard to see here, this square icon is the output. So it now will output to the back. The item pipe will extract it and then put it into this interface here. I don't know if the pack has channels enabled. I haven't got that far, but I'm trying to keep in mind whether channels are enabled and sort of connecting things different ways. I'll get to making some smart cables at some point, but these shouldn't take channels. They should just be using the power. And these are just your basic inscribers. So this is for the silicon, this is for logic, this is engineering, calculation, and this is where I put them together to make the whole processor. So just a few inscribers set up so that I can make the chips and things I need for A2. All right, so now that we've got pattern providers on all of this, what we're looking for, obviously, making the steel wire mill, is we need to make bronze gears, which requires pretty much all the things. So what we need to get to is plates, rings, bolts, and then the blade and the curved plate. So let's put these two up here, because we're going to need patterns for each of these. Now, here's our little pattern encoding terminal. Not sure if I showed this pattern. Oh, it's up here. Pattern encoding terminals, just a crafting terminal with an engineering processor. Pretty straightforward. And I have one little 1K crafting storage here. I do need to make a bigger one for some more complex stuff, but we're working through as we go. So this requires, in the bending machine, bronze plate in the bending machine to make a curved plate. So make that pattern. And then the rod in a cutting machine is just an ingot. I will get rid of the lubricant piece. Okay. Cool. So that is in the bending machine. Oh, the cutting machine, sorry. So that there. Bending here. So if I now ask the system, I'll just go in here and type bronze. We do have some rods here, but you now see the little plus above each of these things, and that means we can make one. So if I ask for, what am I going to need? Probably 4 of these. If I say 4 of them, please, start, we should see this moving. It's now producing the things we needed. They will be extracted, and they're sitting in here because there's no room in the system for it to come back, but we have them. Not sure if that means that the thing has completed. Maybe it's still waiting, but there's no room in the system for it to come back in, which is unfortunate. Okay, so rings and bolts also need to be done. I've only got one pattern left, so let's do ring in bending machine. So that's just a rod. Like so. And then I'm going to need another pattern. Blank pattern. Couple. I do need to get some more glass probably. Let's just pop them in here. And then we want the one for the bolt, which is cutting machine. Okay. Cool. And then I've got, having moved the mixer, I can now make, say goodbye to that special mob. What'd you give me? Yeah, it's got some enchants. Anyway, so we should now have automated the bronze side of things. I do need to make a bunch of patterns, and we'll get all of the things. So obviously, if I need, what do I need for the wire mill? I need enough for what? 4 of them? 4 bronze gears and 2 bronze rotors. So I need blades. I need it. Ugh. Lots of things. So what I could probably do now, did I put the molecular assembler down? I thought I did. Made one. Is it in my inventory? No. Here it is. Molecular assembler. Don't know. I think I actually have to put patterns on this, don't I? Yes. It's been a while since I've used the whole setup for Applied Energistics, but the idea being that we'd obviously need to use a pattern provider to be able to do this, and then So obviously a pattern provider has multiple things, but let me make another one. Need another crafting table, would be good. And that enchant thing is from, I tried reforging my atomic disassembler. I've only got the basic simple reforging table. I do want to upgrade that, which is why I went and got some more netherite. I'll do that soon. Let's see, if I do... I'm hoping this works. So if I want a bronze gear, I should be able to do this and then that. And pop that in here, right? It's been a while. So if I type in bronze. Okay, it tells me I can make a bronze gear. If I hit next on this. I'm assuming, yeah, 43. Should. It says no crafting CPUs are available. I'm guessing this is busy crafting the plates because there's no room for it to come back into the system. So I actually need to make some space. Oh boy. 4K. Really quickly make some of these. Of course, there's not enough space for things to go back into the system. Can you go in there? No. Yep, that went in. 4K. Oh, I need some more quartz glass. Of course, there's no room for things to go back in. Oh my. Cool. Can you make one of them? Good. I don't know. 4K. Not a 4K. Oh, gotta take that one out. Oh my. Sure. It's a silicon one. You can have that. I think I threw something. Yeah, I did. I love it. I love having so much junk. Let me do this for the moment. All right, I'm getting there, everyone. I'm getting there. 4K. That'll keep us going for another 4 seconds. That should let that finish. Yes, good. So if I want a bronze here. Ooh, it's doing things. May have had all them already. And do I have a bronze gear? I've got one. Nice. So I now have the ability to make bronze gears. So I can, you know, obviously I need the wire mill. Requires 3 of them. If I control click, it will actually make the items that I need, which is very cool. All right, so to make the rest of the wire mill, we need the bronze rotors. I do need to make a few of these. A couple of them. Cool. Some bolts. I'm missing lubricant because I forgot to take that out of the recipe. Take this pattern. The pattern back in here. Yeah. Get rid of that. Back in there. Cool. Now that there's space in the system, I'm gonna do a little bit of dumping items in there. It'll fill up pretty quick, and that's part of the problem. You can go in there too. Take these guys. Make a bronze rotor. Nice. I need to make another one. I do, don't I? One more bronze rotor. Oops. Control click. Start. And then we're going to need steel machine casing. So for that, I may as well get the steel plates and the steel gear. So I need kind of recipes for all of them again. So I'm just going to, I'll throw a cut in. I'll make a couple of patterns. I'll get the steel items working in the system too. And we'll get to the wire mill back in a moment. All right, steel recipes are done. And I've got the last 2 bronze gears that are just finished crafting made for the steel wire mill. Wire mill. So this should let us get towards doing cables and getting into powered modern industrialization. So time to make your first wire long strings of highly conductive metals for the transfer of electricity. Combine these plain wires with your rubber sheets to make cables. Make sure to put enough rubber around those wires. You don't want to get shocked. So we're going to get some steel plates as a reward. And then this guy leads us to making rubber. I do have some rubber, I'm pretty sure already. So do you run on steam then? Use gunpowder to speed the machine up. You must be on steam. Automatically process from your yep. Okay, so I'm assuming it's a steam powered machine. Yes, it is. Let me get another bit of tube. What will be in the system? Not probably not the best place to put it. I'm going to put him there for the moment. Okay, so we have a wire mill running, or available to run. The quest book now wants us to make rubber. As I said, I'm pretty sure I made rubber. Let's just double check. Rubber. Yeah, I've got 36 of it. If you remember, rubber is just synthetic oil in the mixer with some paper. Yep, okay. Cool. So I've got rubber. Tick. Okay. Now we're moving into the electric age. Time for a major upgrade. Yes, it is. We will need to make like a steam power generator. And I've been considering some other ideas for making steam here. So we'll work through what it's got, but a quick look. Electric machines work exactly the same as steam machines, except from the fact they require electricity to function instead of steam. And they can progressively overclock recipes up to 32 EU per tick for now. Use your EMI to view the recipes for electric versions of the machines. Yes, cool. First main part will be the analog circuits. So this guy here. This will be the main circuit for the LV machines as well as the base for high tier circuits and machines. Should automate this as soon as possible. Okay, so analog circuits. Oh my goodness. Resistors, inductors, capacitors. Like, if I do this, let's just get rid of these items because they are automated. And yeah, I'll leave them there for the moment. YML can go. Cool. So this, we're going to need resistors, inductors, capacitors, analog circuit boards, and copper wire. Each of which, oh boy, we can either run them through an assembler or they can go through, obviously, automatic crafting, but it still requires, that's a better process. You get 1 extra for using an assembler, but I don't have an assembler yet. So let's start with making one of these guys. So we do need a resistor. Now resistor, paper, coal dust and fine copper wire, copper fine wire, I should call it. So let's pop that in there. Okay, copper fine wire is copper wire through the wire mill again. So copper wire is just copper plate through the copper wire, through the wire mill. Oh, I'll get it out. So I probably need to automate copper plate. I might actually see what we can do in terms of moving things around, and you know what might be smarter? If I move this guy to here and then just move the macerator. Because I'm using the macerator not as much. I'm not something I'm automating yet. Enough room? Yep, cool. Let's grab this and this. Sure. I'm gonna make you wire mill. You can go there. You have steam. I'm going to shift click you on the back. No, on the back. To get the output to there. All right, and then we will need to. Oh, that's not where I want it. Stop it. There. So, macerator, good. Yeah, I don't think I need to put too much more in there. So obviously I do need to, let's start with just grabbing some copper. Of course I've got no copper plate. It's fine, I've got plenty of copper. Just a little bit. Compressor. Some copper plate going. Oop, missed it. I've got one of them. If I put this in here. And that's quite annoying. Quite an annoying noise. We have our first copper wire. And then, as it said before, pop that back through. You. Modern? No? If I type wire. Stop it. Cool. So we've got our, obviously, our little fine wire here. Analog circuit board requires us to do that. A capacitor. Need some gold plate. So I need to automate gold plate. I've got 6 here. So if I want a recipe of this guy, compressor, let's do that. And then I want gold plate recipe in a compressor. Copper, gold. All right, sure. I would like another. For them. One of them. Switch it to the flat version. Table. Okay. We now have the ability to do wire patterns. So if I want one of them, and if I want this one, cool. We can then pop that in here. It does say to automate it as soon as possible, so I'm getting there. So again, I'm at this. If I can hold down Control click and hit start, I need to wait for that first one because I've only got the one processor. Either that or I need to make another processor soon. But that's both of them being made. You can see the little flashing light meaning that it's, or the coloured there, meaning that it's actually processing. Apparently. Maybe. Oh, I know what I've got to do. That on. Yep, good. Just forgot to put the auto output part. So we now have a capacitor. Again, this is still, I need 2 of them, so I need a second capacitor. Waiting. Things will get better. Things will get faster. We will get to the point where everything is awesome. 1 of them, cool. There we go. It's 2 of them. What else did I need? Not that. I need 1 of these inductors. Oh my. Start. Make me some things. Some of the junk in my inventory. Rubber sheet can go in there too. Ooh. Yep. Inductor. System. I need 2 resistors. I'll give us 3. And roll click for this. There we go. 1 analog circuit. Yay. Alright, so if we go to advancements, I'm sure we've probably just been smashing through wherever. Somewhere in here. There. We've been knocking through all of these. There's still getting the packer and the quarry. And this is starting to open up the next level. So electricity, craft a large steam boiler. Yep. So getting through all of these pieces as well will, helps us drive through the quest book. So we now have the electric age open. I can now make pistons and motors and holes, and we need all them for an assembler. And then down here, steam farmer. I don't think I need a steam farmer, but in terms of doing all the things, I will work through each of these things. Solar panels, interesting. And then the LV steam turbine. Just a moment. Produce true electricity using the steam you've been making up until now. LV steam turbine will convert every 1 millibucket of steam into 1 EU. What I want to look at though is how can I make steam in this pack? Can I make steam using something else, perhaps? Is there another way of making steam using Create? Can I, that's why I wasn't sure if I could convert Create steam, and actually I don't think there is a way of doing it. Liquid steam bucket. How do you make liquid steam? Yeah, I don't think there is a way. Yep. So I'm going to look through and see if there is a way of us making. Otherwise, I'll just start making these boilers and feeding them into a big tank. Maybe I'll put a big Zycraft tank in the wall or something, and we'll work on keeping that stocked full of tons and tons of steam, and we can produce what we need elsewhere and feed it using like the stuff out of here. Using this pipe, we'll feed it around and we'll burn things instead of me having to manually top up currently, which is what I'm doing. All right, well, that's a in-between and / next episode item to get through. So thank you all for watching. Leave your comments down below. We are starting to push towards electricity and modern industrialization, and the more we do, the closer we get. The closer we get to the big quantum stuff. It's miles away, don't get me wrong. We're just here. We've got all of this to do. But I'm going to pop through and claim a couple more of these quests. Sawmill, yes, I made one of them. Claim a couple of them, and my goodness, there is stuff everywhere. This is a great thing to unlock. So next episode, more modern industrialization, a little bit more power related stuff, and we'll go from there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.